to everyone. I'm Teacher Brel and I am here to share some activities for your children, especially now that we are all at home. And before that, of course, I'd like to tell a story. So our story would be, That's My Cake. And the two boys there is Toby and Pierre. Toby and Pierre have been playing together all afternoon. They've had lots of fun. But now they're hungry. Very hungry. Look! There's cake! Toby and Pierre look at the cake for a long, long moment. Uh-oh, there's only one slice left. It's sticky and gooey and very, very chocolatey. At last, Toby says, That's my cake. Why? Because I'm bigger and I need to eat more. Pierre thinks. No, he says. That's my cake. Why? Because I'm smaller and I need it to grow. Toby looks at Pierre. Pierre looks at Toby. They both look at the cake. It's my cake, says Toby. Why? Oldest goes first, and I'm older than you, a lot older. I'm around 2 years older. That's not a lot, says Pierre. Toby frowns and does some counting. Okay, I'm 28 months older than you, and that is a lot. Imagine if months were cheetahs. Cheetahs? Yeah, cheetahs on a chariot. A chariot? Pierre imagines 28 cheetahs on a chariot. It's a lot. Pierre also does some counting. Actually, youngest should go first. And I'm 121 weeks younger than you. That really is a lot. Imagine if weeks were hippos. On a chariot? No, doing handstands. Imagine if weeks were hippos doing handstands. Toby imagines 121 hippos doing handstands. It really is a lot. Toby closes his eyes and thinks. Well, he tells Pierre, I'm 850 days older than you. That's lots and lots and lots. Imagine if days were baboons. Doing handstands? Nope. In a band. Imagine if days were baboons in a band. Pierre imagines 850 baboons in a band. It's lots and lots and lots. Pierre closes his eyes and does some counting. Lots of counting. I'm 20,400 hours younger, and that's poodles. Imagine if ours were crocodiles. In a band? Nope. Doing the conga. Imagine if ours were crocodiles congaing. Toby imagines 20,400 congaing crocodiles. It really is oodles. Toby glares at Pierre, and Pierre glowers at Toby. They both look at the cake. Eventually, Toby says, My name begins with a T. So T stands for terrific. And that's my cake. Well, my name begins with a P, says Pierre. So P stands for phenomenal. So that's my cake. Well, begins Toby. But he's interrupted by a monstrous roar. That's my cake! Toby and Pierre turns around and see an enormous, hairy, gruesome monster. They look at each other. They look at the gooey, sticky, chocolatey cake. And they look at the monster. And they say, why? Because I'm bigger than you, the monster roars. And I'm older than you, the monster bellows. And my name is Humongous Hairy Horror. It thunders, which begins with an H. H is for hungry, says the monster. Toby and Pierre are silent for a while. Then they do some whispering. And then Pierre climbs on Toby's shoulders. The monster frowns. What are you doing? Together, says Pierre, we're bigger than you. And together, says Toby, we are 157,926 hours old, which must be older than you. And together, says Pierre, our names begin with T and P, which stands for terrifically phenomenal. So, growls the monster. So, says Toby and Pierre, that's our cake. Rumbles the monster. It takes one last long lingering look at the gooey, sticky, oh so chocolatey cake and skulks off. Toby and Pierre share the slice of cake. And it is so gooey, so sticky, and so chocolatey that there's plenty for two. They even felt a tiny bit sick. The end. Let's do some snail art. What are we going to use for our snail art? So I have here a paper plate, colored paper, bits of colored paper cut in squares. Oopsie. Let me fix it for you. And then later we're gonna cut this out, the snail's head. What else? I guess this is probably it for the paper plate snail. What? Are you guys watching? Who's watching? To all the mummies out there watching, you can comment down below if there are any questions or if you need any help. Mummies and daddies. And my co-teachers who are watching, you can also comment down below. So how does a snail look like? How does a snail look like and how does it move? Is a snail fast or slow? You can ask your kids that while you're doing the activity. Integrate learning in every activity that you can do. So, here we go. Let's start. My tip for the parents is, when you're doing activities with your children, as much as possible, if you can insert any type of learning to the activity, you should integrate it. Now, especially that children are exposed with the techie stuff. Cell phones, iPads, tablets, YouTube. So as much as possible, if you can insert interaction and learning in every opportunity you can see, grab it. And as much as possible also, if you can get their attention with activities like this, take the chance. So first, we should gather and prepare all the materials and cut the colored papers into small square pieces like this. third step is we're going to glue it in a spiral pattern. So I'm gonna glue it here at the back. Spiral pattern, where's my glue stick? We start from the edges going towards the middle of the paper plate. Gonna put some glue right here. You can choose any color that you like, but for me, I chose pink and orange, and I'm gonna do it in an alternate way. Whoop. Activities like this can also help your children develop their fine motor skills. There are a lot of activities that can help them develop their fine motor skills, but things like this are easy, plus the materials are readily found at home, especially now that we're not allowed to go outside as much as possible. So fine motor skills are what we develop as the prerequisite for their writing. So children are always writing at school. So first, before they enter the big school, if you have a preschooler at home, before they enter the big school, of course, they have to learn how to write their full names. And activities like this, which would need their pinching, their tiny fingers to do some work, it helps in developing their fine motor skills, which is essential as a prerequisite for their writing skills. Maybe for your children, you can use more colors to make them more interested. In my experience, most of the children like rainbow colors in their activities. Whichever activity it is, whatever activity it is, as long as it has rainbow colors, they're happy. There you go. Somewhere at the middle. You can actually get creative with your children. If they don't like bits of squares, try bits of triangles. Try teaching them how to differentiate squares from triangles. Integrate some learning into it, especially shapes. In this activity, you can integrate learning the shapes. Like, what's the shape of the paper plate? It's a circle. And then if you're gonna cut the bits of paper to put as the snail's shell, you can also integrate other shapes like triangle, rectangle, square. Then ask them what shape it is. That way, you're not only helping them improve their fine motor skills, but also some of their cognitive abilities. Can also integrate color. For me, it's quite boring because I chose pink and orange. But for your kids, you can integrate all the other colors and ask them what color they're pasting on the paper plate. And then that way, you can also help them memorize the different colors. There are many learning opportunities, especially at home. So if you guys need any help with activities that would help your children learn, just message us in Skillweavers and we'll be happy to help you guys. There, this is probably done. Now I have my snail's shell. You can also integrate learning here by asking them if they've already seen a snail, what does a snail look like, how does it move. Animal movement is one of the most fun topics for children. In my experience, it's what they like most. So next step is I am now ready to cut the snail's head. Cut, cut, cut. Now for children, if there are children watching this video, what do we do when there's something that needs to be cut? We always ask for an adult's help. Find someone who will help you with a scissor or a cutter. Anything that's sharp, you don't do it by yourself. You call mommy, daddy, or ate, or kuya, or whoever to help you with the cutting because you don't want to get a boo-boo. Again, do you use the scissors by yourself? We should always remind children not to use scissors on their own, especially if they're still very young. But if you know that your child can use a scissor already and can be careful enough, of course you should let them do it by themselves. Using scissors is also an activity to improve fine motor skills. And also cutting is a way of therapy for children who cannot focus. So you can also supervise your children with cutting activities to help them improve their focus. Cutting improves focus and attention span. Can help them with that. So I'm gonna stick my snail head, my yellow snail head. Where should this go? Down below? Okay. There. Look at my snail. Look at my cute snail. Now, of course, this isn't complete without a smiley and an eye. An eye. Only one eye? Of course, two. Where's my black pen? Ta-da! You should put two eyes. Of course, if you have googly eyes at home, that would be more fun for your children. But now that we can't go out to the bookstores and find some googly eyes, we could just draw them. Let your children draw the faces. It's what they like the most. So I'm gonna draw the eye of my snail. Forgive me, I'm not a good drawer. Drawer! I don't draw that well. Look at my snail. It's smiling. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Oh, hi Lexi. Lexi's watching. You can use this activity for more go at home if you want to. So this is our paper plate snail. Very easy.
Click here.
Click here.
Click here to subscribe.